Yes, my hair's up. First Tidbit Tuesday with my hair not down. Hi, what's up? Welcome back to Tidbit Tuesday. Disclaimer, I'm actually not wearing red because of the new incident that happened, but when I mention it to you, you'll find the connection. I have a tablet, and I was looking through all the apps on it the other day and realized that there was an Angry Birds app on it. And I've heard of it. It's a big hype and everything, but I never knew what it was because I never played it. I knew it was a game, but I knew nothing about it. So I was like, why do people make such a big fuss over this game? Like, what's such the big deal? So I clicked on it just to see what it was. Played it till the battery went dead. Addictions, part 2. But anyway, the point of this video is, obviously, it's called Summer Challenge, so my family has been getting into a summer challenge. It's called the 90-Day Challenge. We are reading the Bible, the entire Bible in 90 days. I was nervous about it at first because I wanted to do it, but I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to. But now it's the 3rd day into it, and I'm feeling kind of good. Of course, I am in Genesis right now. I just finished Genesis today, and that's an easy read. Lots of fun stories, so I might actually regret saying that by the time I get to Leviticus, and Numbers, and Deuteronomy. But I am actually looking forward to this. The Bible is absolutely awesome. #1 bestseller of all time. It's been targeted and persecuted more than any other book in the entire world, and it's still the #1 bestseller of all time. And it's not just a book, it's changed multiple people, multiple lives. It's amazing just because it's like so many things in one. It has a ton of stories. It's also a historical book. Many archaeologists have used it to find things, cities, and artifacts. It's also like a mystery book kind of, because lots of things in it are symbolic. A life instruction manual, obviously the Christian life manual as well, mainly, and also kind of like a code book. It's mysterious in a way just because it has lots of profound things in it that are mysterious and we have yet to learn, and I love how the Old Testament is like a code book for the New Testament. How they tie hand in hand together is like super fascinating. For example, there's one story in the Old Testament where after Moses and all the Israelites left Egypt, they were in the wilderness, and the people started grumbling and complaining and, causing a ruckus, and so all these snakes came out and started biting all the people, and they started dying. So then they started crying out to Moses, like, do something! So God told Moses to set up a snake on a pole, a fake snake, a bronze snake on a pole, and then if anyone was bitten and they looked at it, they wouldn't die and they would live. And on the surface, it seems like a story. It's like, okay, well, what does that have to do with anything? The cool thing about it is it's a symbolic type of Jesus dying on the cross in the New Testament. Sin is in the world today, destroying and killing people, just like the venomous snakes were in the story with Moses. And the only way to live is to look to Jesus, follow Jesus through him. It's funny because what saved the Israelites was to look at something that was made in the image of what was killing them in the first place. And it works with Jesus. Jesus isn't bad like sin, but the New Testament says, he that knew no sin became sin for us. He took upon himself the sins of the world and became detestable looking, but that's how he killed it and overcame it. And that's one of, many examples. There's lots of times that will happen. You read that in the Old Testament, and then it comes up later in the New Testament to, as an allegory for something, a spiritual concept, or something that happens in the New Testament. And sometimes it's, so amazing. It'll almost give you goosebumps. Dude, awesome! But, yes, there are some parts of the Bible that are very deep and kind of slow, and, the significant meaning is very hard to get, and it's you have to survive through it. So if you never have read the Bible before, or you have, but you wish it was more interesting, there are some parts that I think are better than others. Books with lots of stories I find are easier. I just finished Genesis. Genesis is a super easy read. It's all stories. The first half of Exodus is good, and then Ruth, Esther, 1st and 2nd Samuel are good. The first half of Daniel is really good. The Gospels are easy to read. And then Revelation I actually do recommend. It's confusing in a way, but it's very, very fascinating. So if you're looking for, an easier read, I would recommend those books. My favorite Bible story is the story of Joseph, which is in Genesis, starting with chapter 38 and goes to like the rest of the book. The story is very interesting and it has a lot of things happening. It's very intriguing, very attention grabbing. Sight and Sounds did this a couple years ago. It was the first Sight and Sound I saw, and I absolutely loved it. But I don't know if it beat Moses. Moses was just epic, even though it is my favorite Bible story. My favorite book of the Bible is Proverbs. Proverbs are so funny because they're like a bunch of like one or two liners for life. They're so funny though. Some of them are just humorous because they're like so common sense. Proverbs, pointed precepts for practical prudence. And my favorite verse is Habakkuk 2:13 and 14. I know that's two verses, but they tie hand in hand. So just for kicks, I thought I'd read a little something before we leave. This is the Bible in 50 words. God made, Adam bit, Noah arced, Abraham split, Jacob fooled, Joseph ruled, Bush talked, Moses balked, Pharaoh plagued, people walked, sea divided, tablets guided, promise landed, Saul freaked, David peaked, prophets warned, Jesus born, God walked, love talked, anger crucified, hope died, love rose, spirit flamed, word spread, God remained. So since it was happening, figured I'd do a little Tid-Bit about it. As always, check back next week. I'll have another video. If you like this video, share. I'm trying to get more views. Have a fantastic week, and until next time, learn a little bit from every day. Ciao! Angry Birds.